When my wife went to college, she majored in journalism and she wanted to be a reporter. More specifically, she's one of those people that likes to get to the bottom of things. She wanted to be an investigative reporter. And shortly after she got out of college, she was a news anchor at a local news channel. And after a while, what she realized was that the truth really didn't matter. What mattered was what sold and what got viewers. And the two things that got viewers was sex and fear. If the stories didn't involve something that was sexy or it didn't scare people, the managers and the producers weren't interested in the story. And even if the story wasn't scary, they tried to spin it in such a way that it was scary. Or even if it wasn't sexy, they tried to spin it in such a way that it was sexy. But the biggest motivator of people following their favorite news channels or following news at all is fear. Fear is the biggest driver of people trying to get information, and guess what? They know it. They know that fear sells. Just an example. When I was the head of school, I had to call snow days, and something that you'll notice is that whenever there's even a threat of snow, at least in the Midwest, the news starts going crazy. Snow events are the highest rated events, at least in the Midwest, around the Kansas City area. When there's a snow event coming, more people's eyes are glued to the TV than in really most other situations that there are out there. And the problem with trying to motivate people with fear is it works first and foremost, but then the spins become lies is what happens. And lies are designed to try to get you to believe an agenda and also increase ratings, specifically because you're scared. Now here's also the problem with the lies, is you have some channels that'll tell you that if the world goes this way, we're all going to perish and you better run for your life and be scared. Whereas in the other channels say what that guy said is wrong, it's the opposite. If this thing happens, then we're all going to perish and you need to run for your lives and be scared. And this is how they feed ratings. And all this does is it just further divides the country based on lies driven by fear, and it becomes a controlling tactic. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, that's why I don't watch mainstream media. And you know, you're right to be cautious of that. But when you start going into these, let's call them a little darker, a little more extreme, usually when people say, you know what, the mainstream media is a lie, I'm following this thing. And it's usually some sort of online media source that pulls you an extreme right or an extreme left. And those are driven by more fear than even the mainstream media. So I guess what I'm getting at is if you're following anything because you're scared about something and they're giving you relief from that fear, you're falling into it and you're being controlled by fear. Now, I'd like to further add that it's not just the media that does this, because what we're seeing mostly in the media is politics. And guess what politicians are also doing? They're driving votes with fear. They're increasing screen time with fear. And they're driving their financial assets up with fear. They use fear to do it. Politicians don't get on and talk about all the great things that are happening. They try to tell you about all the terrible things that are happening and how they can fix it. That if you don't vote for them, everybody's going to perish and you better run for your life in fear. This is how it works, folks. And what we're seeing is the United States has become more extreme, fear-driven control than ever before, and all the people that are pointing saying, look at all these sheep following, this thing, they're sheep following a thing. It's extremely hypocritical, because what you're saying is look at the right, how they're following their leaders like sheep, and whereas in me, I'm on the left following sheep like my thing. You can't do that. You're still sheep. I don't care whether you're right or left. I choose not to follow either. People ask me how political I am. I say, well, I believe that everyone has an innate evil tendency in them, and so I don't trust either side. I think they're both fear-based, and they're using fear to convince you to vote for them, and they're using fear to convince you to send them money, and they're using fear to convince you to be against the other side. Now, again, I know we have a lot of problems with both sides, and I'm not saying that they're all fake because of fear-based things. What I'm saying is it is the fear that they're using to control you. It is fear that will get you motivated, and it is fear that will get your eyes on that television. It's fear that will get your checkbook out. It is fear that will make you check boxes in the voting booth. It's all controlled by fear. And you have to see it. Again, I'm not saying, you know, that you shouldn't be scared in a lot of circumstances. What I'm saying is they are using that fear to control you. And the sooner you recognize it, the sooner you will be free from that control. And that's what this video is all about. So, hope this helped. Love to hear any comments or questions on that. Put it below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.